So if you want, but with the custom text, you can be like, this never changes. And there. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do. That's what the static custom text is. It stays the same no matter what. So message segments. So we're going to click on that. And once we click on that, you're going to notice we have the message segments that I have already created. Hello, hey, greeting. Thanks for checking out my story. I'm on LSD. Pun. Thanks for voting on my poll. Here's my LSD link. Okay, so these are all the message segments that I have created. So think of a natural conversation flow is what you should keep in mind when you're labeling and naming your message segments. If we're going to click on hey greeting, quickly start out with saying, hey, what's up? Right? So boom, that's populated in there. Now we're going to insert the next segment and we're going to say, thanks for checking out my story. Okay. Remember, in each of these segments, the hello, hey, greeting, there's 6 different variations of me saying hello, right? And then in the second message segment, we have thanks for checking out my story. Again, there's 5 or 6 different variations of me saying thank you for checking out my story. And then we're going to insert the last one, and we're going to say, hey, I'm on LSD, and I actually do not remember what I had in that one, so we're just going to leave it at that. So then once you've added in all of the message segments that you want for this particular group or conversation that you want to initiate, then all you have to do is click on add. So technically you can build out multiple message groups. I haven't gone that crazy yet. I'll probably do that in another future training as far as how that will look like. Once you've clicked add, you see it up there, it's colored, and look at that, it's all in order. So once you've clicked add, you just click on update, and now my main LSD greeting is now updated. And same thing, just to check out what I have here, a yes no poll, or however you want to do that, then you could have a message group set up for polls. So you could literally label it as message group for this poll, message group for this poll. And then let's say based off of how they vote, they're going to get certain messages, right? And so this is where if you vote on my poll, you're going to get a link to something or whatever, right? So rewarding engagement. Hey, vote on my poll if you want a chance at this, whatever. So all they have to do is vote on your poll, and then LSD will reply. It can be like, hey Justin, thanks for checking out my poll and voting on it. Here's a little freebie for for engaging. Appreciate it, bro. Update again, loads it up. So then that way you have your message groups all good to go, right? So again, message segments are the variation, each sentence, right? That's part of the conversation that you want to initiate. And then message groups is how you bundle those message segments into conversations or message groups. And we're going to click on, we're going to click on where it says set up LSD. And for none of the above, so again, since I don't have any reactions on this setup yet, I don't have that option yet. Okay, so if I want to, let's see. So since I have 2 message groups, you see that they've populated here. My main LSD greeting, LSD deal. So I'm gonna do main LSD greeting, and then just for fun, I'm also going to do that for the reactions as well, okay? So with nothing happening, I have these 2 options going. And just for the sake of the demo, whether somebody looks at my poll, look at my story, or even if they react, they're now, because of how I just set this up, they're going to get the same thing. To not be confusing, I'm going to change it. So now, anyone who looks up my story and they don't engage with it, let's say you create a message that goes, hey, Tony, thanks for checking out my story. I noticed you didn't react to it. What are your thoughts, right? Maybe you posted something controversial, or maybe you posted fun fact, whatever it is. When you're thinking of your strategy of, okay, why are you posting what you're posting to your Facebook story? It should be to elicit some type of reaction, whether it's to entertain, whether it's to educate, or whether it's to make offers, right? And, with that in mind, it's going to be a lot easier for you to decide how to set up your messages, okay? So it's not just posting the stories and then just putting out random messages. You do need to keep in mind, okay, what strategy do I need to have in place here, and what is it that I'm trying to do? What is the outcome that I'm looking for, right? So keep that in mind, right? So when you're looking at that, if you're not getting a certain type of engagement, see this as an opportunity to allow LSD to engage for you, to collect information for market research. So if they're not engaging, you can be like, hey, I saw that you saw my story. What did you think about it? And try to gather some information. And again, that will help you in your journey of posting content that's more engaging. And then for those who do react, then what kind of experience or conversation do you want to start with those people who pounded the like button or the heart button or the angry face? And so what kind of a message do you want to send to them people? So LSD gives you those options and that flexibility for every single story that you push out. It's a sweet deal, right? And then when you click on, I don't know if it'll let me do it because I didn't sync it. So let me click on save. Successfully saved. I was trying to do this without syncing. So as you see, it is on there. So I probably just needed to refresh the screen. Now, with LSD engaged, anyone who is viewing that story now should receive the message that I just set up. So if you were to actually go check it out right now and view my story, then it should trigger LSD to send you what I had just set up on that. So if you were to leave a reaction, then you're going to get the second message group that I had set up separately for that one, for that. And so as you see, all the rest still says set up LSD, okay? Just because you set up an automation to run on one story doesn't mean that it's automatically going to do anything for all the other stories. So how can LSD help you in implementing your strategy? As you've noticed, and as I pointed out earlier, I'm able to look at stories that have since expired from Facebook. If you were to go on your Facebook and look back, these are gone, right? And so what it's going to allow you to do is one of our future updates will give you the ability to actually save. So it's kind of saving the stories here, but it's actually going to allow you to save the story to where you can repost it later on from inside of LSD. So that's something that our developer is building out and working and seeing if Facebook will let us do, with that too. And so when you're looking at, recycling content, again, you're going to have access to this data that's going to help you decide which stories to recycle. Because if you're just going about it blind, let's say you have stories series that you would like to recycle maybe every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, or monthly, just because you created it doesn't necessarily mean that you should reuse it. You should absolutely let the software hang on to the data and let that drive which stories you utilize to, again, get better results with your offers. So honestly, that's pretty much it. That is how easy it is to utilize LSD. Essentially, once you've logged in, click on sync, then decide on, okay, what messaging do I want to have with LSD? You click on your story, and then you start implementing this message group for this. If they don't do anything, I want to do this message group if they do this. And then as you think of different scenarios, you just add more and more of these message segments. They will stay there. They're not going to disappear. They're not going to go anywhere. As you have your core offers, as you figure out what are your core offers and what are the conversations you want to initiate with those core offers, they will be stored inside of LSD. So then whenever you are posting the relevant Facebook stories, then guess what? Then it's just a matter of maybe rearranging some of these message segments around and creating new message groups. Okay, so then it's literally, then by that point, then you literally, all you have to do is, I posted a story about my podcast. And you see how easy this is? It's like, I'm talking through it. And so my next story, and click on that was I have no idea if that was clickable, right? And then I could have followed that up with, hey, was that Facebook story clickable? Yes or no? And so that's just another fun way of turning an oops moment into another opportunity where you can increase some engagement and start some conversations. And sometimes that'll spark conversations with people that's been on your Facebook group that or your Facebook page where it might have been a while since you've last talked to them. And that's the whole point of this, right? Is to be the one who is always initiating the conversation, taking that first step, even when others are being lurkers. Because here's the thing. You have people who are highly engaging, and then you have those who are the lurkers. They follow you, they check out what you're doing and everything, but they might not, just because of who they are, they just don't like liking things and reacting to things and talking to things. They might even laugh at it, right? It's like, oh, this is funny, this is hilarious, right? And then don't do anything, and they just go to the next one, right? And so LSD allows you to just bridge that gap a little bit more, right? To where you can just initiate that engagement, ask them questions, see what their thoughts are, or deliver information for your offer based off of how they interact with your stories. And so that, my friends, in a nutshell, is how LSD works.